ಓವರ್ ಗೋಲ್ ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮನೇಲಿ ಗೆದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೆದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. And this is Dr. Rao, and we do these 2 hours of wellness oasis, kind of provide information like an oasis, and also really do our morning routine, which I need and you need to prepare ourselves to work, whatever we do. No? So I'm kind of very happy to be doing this every day morning. Start the day right, okay? Keep your mind in the present moment, and really keep the body energized for the work ahead, enthusiastic, and also really rekindle our spirit of service, right? So I think morning should be properly started so that the entire day will be better. So reflection on some aspect of our life. Yesterday, for example, we had a person who had a chain of restaurants, is very successful, very nice, very much caring for his customers, and really incorporating good diet, so usually I'm kind of not really fond of the restaurant culture, because it used to be ancient times, then food is a medicine, right? But then people took enormous care to grow the food, to really cook the food by themselves with love and affection, and then serve the people, and they sat and eat, so all those things are important to cultivate again. That's why I kind of take on the culture of the restaurant. It's not the restaurant's fault, but they are providing something you are asking. But it is a lot of people relegate food as the last thing, and they don't want to cook it like that. They more like get back to the work, whatever doing, and go eat hurriedly, and eat whatever they serve, and eat based on the taste rather than the nutritious value. So this culture of whatever happening with our thing is not really right, so I kind of encourage my patients to prepare their food. At least if they grow the food, that's better, but not everything can be grown, right? So at least buy the organic um, uh, farm products. Farm We have a farm market, right? Like that, you go and buy as fresh as possible, and then cook them yourself and eat as a pan to plate, right? That kind of thing. So I always tell my patients to pay attention to the food, where it is coming from, how it is prepared, and how it is consumed, right? So in that sense, once upon a time, when Ayurveda, food is the medicine, right? Now, processed food is equate with chronic disease. That is something people are really paying attention to these days, you know. And one of the things is going to the restaurant every day and eating, or eating out of the cans, you know. That's something a lot of people with chronic disease of diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. So a lot of it is because of the food is not consumed properly. I call them diseases of civilization, right? We all know that that's not what we want, right? So but if you look at the prevalence of the chronic disease, is ubiquitous. Almost everybody has chronic diseases, you know, and then they are doing some stuff like just go to the doctor, get some pills, and solve it, without attending to their lifestyles, their root causes. So that's what I practice, right? Root cause medicine, you know. Go and find out what is causing our illness, as acute or chronic, and always try to fix it after you have taken care of the acute illness. And you can also identify your chronic illnesses, but the lifestyles are the key, how you change them, right? I think that is where everybody agrees with me, you know, and then they want to do it. So this culture of going to the restaurant and then leaving all the choices to the chef, or a lot of owners of the restaurant, because they base lots of times only on the taste, right? And that taste, for that they may have to put extra oil, they may have to do extra salt and all that, you know. When you do something like that for mechanically, for just to make money, I think the restaurants don't have any responsibility, and then any kind of conscience to show what's happening in the society, why there is so much. So if only they kind of recognize this processed food is leading to chronic disease, they could avoid that. This restaurant told me that he does, you know. So that's wonderful. But usually, to get the taste and to get uh, the customers hooked in, they rely on the taste, right? So that who is responsible then? We, the consumers. Okay, so we could talk to the chef and tell them that please make sure that there is no processed food, but more holistic food, and also if they could prepare certain way, you know, maybe boiled versus deep fry, you know, things like that, you know. You could talk. The essential thing is you take responsibility for what goes on into your body, how it is, and how much you should consume, and when you can. It all depends upon you, right? I hardly go to the restaurant unless I'm traveling, I'm forced to go. And even then, I kind of choose my food. Even in McDonald's, they have good foods that you could select and order, you know. So I order more like a oatmeal with the fruit, and then I order a salad in the afternoon that is there, you know. So you could order the foods that you want in almost every restaurant these days, you know. But if usually when I go traveling, and if I am really looking for food, I may not eat in the hotel I'm staying. I look at the map and see what are the vegetarian restaurants, American, Chinese, Indian, whatever, you know. And then I go there and choose my food, and then eat only what I want to eat. That kind of willpower, that kind of responsibility is needed for us to protect our health, right? So I was asking him, and he said, yeah, he does realize that, and he's paying attention to that in his restaurants and in his content of the food too. I was very delighted to hear that. All I wanted them is be aware, be aware of this chronic disease prevalence in our society, no matter where you are, whichever part of the world. The chronic disease is prevalent because people are eating outside, people have no control of what they're eating and all that. Okay, I wonder how you guys feel about that. Let me know if you have a particular opinion about it. But generally, growing foods also is not that tough these days. You could the grains and all that, you may be relying on other people, but then if you want to vegetables and maybe some fruits also, if you have a piece of land, you can use it properly. Or if you have an apartment or balcony or anything like that, you could use some parts, and then you could have a herbal garden. You could have tomatoes and other vegetables. You could have in the yard maybe a tree that gives you fruits, that kind of it. Even if you don't have the fruit facility to grow fruits, you can grow lot of vegetables in the parts in the apartment itself. It's a question of being conscious, being about. So I wrote a book called Conscious Fleet. I'm going to release that, and then that book I was talking about, especially this kind of sensation and orientation towards good food. Okay. Mm. Nutrition is something very important all the way to the cellular level, right? So you don't want to eat anything that comes your way. Okay, that's an important thing to understand. Okay, now if you really pay attention to these 2 hours that we are going to do, the first hour we are going to do this wellness oasis. What are the informations that are related to our wellness that could be available here, and it may not be available anywhere else, because people may not go to that deep about our wellness and may not want to know certain things because it's inconvenient for them, and then may not have real answer because we rely on inadequate science and not really lived experience. So I look to the ancient times when they had thousands of years of experience with these lifestyles, right? For example, they have food, for example. Almost all the meals are self-made, and almost all of them are made not with oil or salt, but more like a fresh ingredients that are really mixed with not refined sugar, refined salt, and that's a big deal. And also, the organic nature of the foods were very high because there was no pollution like we have now. Okay, so they had that luxury and they had preserved it because they had close relationship with the nature. So pay attention to those lived experience, dig out information for you. There's a lot you can find out, and then really eat food as though the food is defining you. In truth, that is true. We make food more like a tasty thing. We make food like a social thing. We make food like a psychological thing. No, food is for sustenance. Food is for the really giving the strength and energy, and food is for really making us enjoy something, offerings from the nature. So you can savor the food, but you don't have to develop an addiction to food. You can enjoy food, chew, and then enjoy it very much, and but you have to be conscious about what. That is where a lot of knowledge in ancient sciences like Ayurveda or modern science like we are getting the nutrigenomics now. There's a lot of material that the modern science can tell you what are the major nutrients, what are the minor nutrients, what are the sources, how they are, what are the supplements, and so much knowledge there. But still, people go by the psychological inclination, their addiction to the taste, and obese people eating obese people with obese people, that kind of sociological thing. All this are happening, you know. That's why we have a lot more people obese. We have a lot more people have the chronic diseases. We have a lot more people have poor energy to do the stuff they have to do. You see, and also they kind of waste resources, lot of resources, because it doesn't serve the purpose of energy, serve the purpose of focus, serve the purpose of really going out there and conquering things, right? We may have very good body that is genetically given to us, but we kind of mess it up with our food choices, with our sedentary activity, and with our, thinking all the time. These are the modern problems, right? So reverse them. Be conscious about what is on your plate, consciously consume it, and you go into the activity, move, and develop appetite, and then only eat. So some of the habits that I have is eat self-prepared food, and eat with consciousness, and also eat sitting down, chewing and enjoying it. Eat only when you are hungry, or work up an appetite and then eat, that kind of thing. Mm. That is very commonsensical. Everybody knows it. But when it comes to implementation, our conditioning comes in place, right? A lot of people don't do that properly. Elderly people may be depending on other people, like the children or grandchildren, so they may not be able to get up and do some stuff. So they may need help, or they may need online ordering and all that. But then always talk to them, tell them the restrictions you have or the preferences you have. I choose like a brown pasta, for example. I specifically tell them I don't want the white pasta. I want the brown pasta, and also lesser amount of that and more of vegetables. Simple thing like that changes everything. We could go to any city. When I'm staying in a hotel, I can talk to the chef and tell them, "This is my preference. Would you please put some effort into doing that?" And they do. I have not seen any way that they have said we cannot do that. Most of the time they will be happy to give the choices that I make. So we can do that. Only thing is we have to be conscious about what are the consequences of eating whatever food that is given to us without paying attention to what is a good nutrition, complete nutrition and better nutrition. The chefs and all those people are trained to make the food more tasty, and then more more people eat it, but a lot more portions and all that. This culture of all you can eat and sugary drinks and serving all this oily salty food, that is something is bred by we going to the restaurant. So I don't really blame the restaurants, but as much as I kind of educate and make my patients aware of what's going on with them, with their nutrition, with their body, with their chronic diseases and all. Once they come to know, they make better choices, and then they have to understand, first of all, what's going on with their body, what is the consequence of all the chronic diseases, and how they have to change slowly. You cannot push something on somebody who is used to for years, right? But gradual change and then gradual encouragement will work. So that is one of the efforts is coming on online and talking to people so that they will catch it, and they will be doing that. Okay, so nutrition is one part, The other part is being not sedentary, but more like you know active. All you have to do is after the meal, get up and walk back and forth in the same room for a while. I do 100 feet, you know. So how I do it is I walk 10 feet to the front. In this room also, I can walk 10 feet from that to the other corner. It's 15 feet probably. I can walk 10 feet and then walk back without turning back, so reverse the direction, right? And then that's when you squeeze your buttocks and you go, and then that is really powerful. So I walk front and back, that's one. 5 times like that, it becomes 100 feet. It doesn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. Even if you walk slowly, to take 10 minutes. So make a habit of that. Club the habit of, I like consume feet. If I am alone, I'll walk back and forth. If I'm with the group, I may walk a block with them, talking with them, and that is good enough. So being functional like that is more important than occasional intense exercise for 15, 20 minutes. No, be active all day and invent ways where you can be exercise. Maybe you have few steps in your house, maybe 4 or 5 from one floor to other floor, and walk back and forth maybe 10 times. That will be good, like a very good. You're carrying your body's weight, and then you are exiting slowly, safely. That is what I advise to all the elderly people. I don't relegate them to the chair. I try to make them move to their tolerance as much as possible. Suppose you have 3 steps, you cannot go all the way 3 steps. Go 1 step and come down. And do the same thing on both legs back 10 times. That will be good exercise. You can invert, like if you have a corridor, you have a wall, hold on to the wall and then walk back and forth. Things like that, simple things like that you can do. But the main thing is, I'm going to eat when I have the hungry. I'm very hungry. That means I have a good appetite. I'm going to eat sitting down and leisurely chewing well. And also after the eating, I will walk a little bit in my room or in my whatever you have. So those kind of simple things, they are come out of awareness. Okay, not beating down on people or punishing them or blaming them, but increasing that awareness, increasing that conscious plate, like that is the title of my book, which is called Conscious Plate, where food choices, the way to eat, the way to prepare, the way to dispose waste, and all those things will be there. But we basically aimed at people who have chronic disease, discovering that food is playing a major role in that. So changing that one particular behavior will help them a lot. Okay. So that is the wisdom, like that you should be cultivating, and you should be, don't learn these facts. You know these facts, implement them. That is when the real thing comes up. You don't have to have a doctor's advice, you don't have a nutrition advice, but just stay with the nature. Stay seasonal. Whatever the food that you make it fresh, seasonal, and then you will be well served, because nature knows how to respond to the stimuli from the nature, right? So it knows what is the winter time, it knows what is the summer time, what are appropriate fruits for summer, what are appropriate vegetables for the winter, like that. Once you understand nature's language, nature's telling you what is good for any life, then you consume that is compatible with the life, and you are better off. Okay, so pay attention to the nature, eat what comes with the season. Usually that is better, cheaper, and also really balanced, right? So you don't want to neglect nature and then transfer everything in cans and then eat it. Don't eat the canned food, eat the fresh food. Especially the foods that are traveled several thousands of miles, it's not good. It's stale. Even if you refrigerate it, it's stale. Something plucked from a live plant, that you eat within 45 minutes of plucking, that has a life in it, that has a liveliness in it. So simple, right? Paying attention to what is happening, what is cheaper, what is seasonal in the market, pick them up. And then you can eat them better. So these are simple things. They they have become wisdom. They have become really rare because people forgot simple things. Forgot. You are nature. You are born into nature. So listen to the nature outside with the seasonal fruit, seasonal. That's fine. You listen to the nature inside. Those are the circadian rhythms. Get up in the morning with the sun, go to bed after the sun, right? And then walk and work out an appetite and eat. Simple things like that. When you listen to your body's appetite signals, you are listening to the circadian rhythms. Body wants food when it is appetite, right? Then eat, and then you kind of allow the not to eat any snacks and sugary drinks and all that between the meals. Maybe you can have 2 meals instead of 3, 4 meals. Maybe you can cut down the snacks. Maybe rest of the snacks like 2 times. In the morning when I have breakfast, I may have some, or in the evening when I have a cup of tea and then some snack. But not snacking all the time. That is how people have become really unconscious about what they are eating. And that is how you want to condition your body. It's not good for you in the long run. So start with the day, very good meal, and then drink water, deep breath, and move. And then lunchtime also, maybe after you work out an appetite, you don't eat by the time. Like 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to have breakfast, and then 12, I'm going to have lunch, even though I don't have the appetite. No, you got to work out your appetite in the morning. Obviously, you are not eating all night, so you'll have appetite in the morning, right? So respond to that, eat it. Or you can take some ginger to stimulate your appetite. After you work out an appetite with a workout and all that, then eat. And then drink water, but deep breathe, but don't snack. And then when you are hungry again around noon time, then have the lunch. That's also good lunch, consciously choosing ingredients and savoring the food and all that. Take 5 minutes, sit down and chew the food. Okay. And then don't have any other snack except maybe in between dinner and lunch a little bit. But after that, have the dinner early and give 2 hours or 3 hours before you go to bed so that you can digest that better and then go. So you can make it simple, natural, if you are aware of what's going on. If you are aware of the nature cycle, if you are aware of the nature produced fruits, if you are aware of how you're cooking it, and are you taking the vitality away or not. If you deep fry, if you really cook too much, you will be killing the vitality of the foods. So figure out the way. Maybe raw, maybe some boiled, maybe very little fried. Those kind of choices you can make. Okay. I hope this all you may be knowing all this, but the question is, are we doing it? Maybe it's a reminder. Have you forgotten because of the cultural and other conditionings that are happening out there? Because some people may not even know. They think, oh, I'm making very tasty food, but they don't understand the consequences of the food habits, getting food addiction, getting the chronic diseases. This is all very costly in a human life because they suffer quite a bit. I see that in the nursing home, in the rest areas, and all, where people are, they're retiring, and then they don't have anybody else to live with themselves. They're at the mercy of the chef and other people. They may not have choices. And then a lot of them have at least 2 or 3 chronic diseases. almost everybody to 60s and all, they are already diabetes, already arthritis, already heart problems, or any number of things, right? So you cannot eat salt if you have heart problem. You cannot eat sweet because of the diabetes, but then they are fed these things, and then because their body craving for them without them knowing, they eat. So yeah, if you don't cultivate these habits when you are healthy and young, it's difficult to cultivate by yourself because you may be dependent on other people, not by yourself. Lots of times, um, families come to me with their parents being my patient. They want to influence them to go to and stay in a nursing home because they are afraid they may fall. They're afraid that they are don't have nobody there to protect them, and they may be lost in a weather event or whatever, right? So they want to keep their loved ones protected and taken care of. So they choose nursing homes as a alternate place they send them, right? There they're completely have no control, right? And then you got to talk to the nursing home people, make sure the restrictions of your loved ones, and then make sure that they are paying attention to them. Okay, all these cultural things, lifestyle things, and also habits that we could easily pay attention to and change that. Only thing is, we have to keep this in mind and also be conscious about making an effort of talking to the relevant people. It could be restaurant, it could be nursing home, it could be hospital, it could be hotel, anything, right? So you got to make an attempt to let them know what they can eat, what they cannot eat. That is a very conscious thing that we should be doing. Okay. What do you think? Anybody has any opinion on that? On the new Bible, so come up and talk to me about it. If you have an experience about this, come and share with us. If you have suggestions how to make this easier on people who have chronic disease, come and share with me. This is an hour where you want to really share your wisdom, true wisdom, that lived experience, that learned experience, that conscious experience, yeah, because we kind of make food as unconscious thing. I see when we are having the meetings and luncheon meetings, people will be eating so fast, so much, they are not even aware that they are eating a certain tasty thing also, So sitting down, only paying attention to the food and chewing it and savoring it has an immense effect on how you absorb the food, how to digest the food. So that feeling of want to digest everything comes from really savoring the food, and then that satisfaction, satiety that you get to eating good foods. That's a very important thing. Okay. But if you make it food is also another mechanical thing, you won't be having that nice effect. Okay, so don't eat while you are having a luncheon meeting. That's what I would prefer. If I go to the meeting, a luncheon meeting like that, they will find my plate is not touched where I'm having this talk with them. I will be focusing on the meeting and why we are there, what is that we are talking about. And then after the everything is done, then I'll eat. So that means I'm paying attention to the food also. Okay. So do that, pay attention to the talk if you need to. Don't eat and then at the same time. That is a habit that I see all the time. I would rather talk and finish my official business and then pay attention to what I'm eating and eat only that. At the other time, I don't have to talk a lot. So simple things, but we don't implement them. Lifestyle things, we don't implement them. Cultural things, we don't pay attention to them. We just take it for granted. So you got to question, you got to doubt, you got to really understand why this has evolved into what it has evolved. Why chronic disease so prevalent? So many people have chronic disease. Immediately, oh, processed food. But are you allowing the processed food onto your plate? That is what you have to be aware of, and then really aware of what the process is. So instead of you know taking on each person and yelling at them, you understand the growth pattern, the farmers. So you understand the restaurateurs who are promoting this kind of tasty but not nutritious food and all that. You understand the industry as a whole, food industry as a whole. Do they have this awareness? If not, conduct lectures, conduct talk to them. I do all the time. So it's not only when they get sick, when they come to the hospital, but when they are in the society. What you can do is, talk to a group of restaurants and make them aware of the amount of chronic disease that's going on in the society, amount of money and quality of time and energy we're spending be due to bad food choices. And once they understand that, they will do much better job, right? So this may look very rudimentary, but you will find almost you can see your own day to day how many times you are consciously choosing food products that you want to eat, how much thinking you have put in, how much knowledge you have about major nutrients and supplements and vitamins, minerals like that. How much knowledge you have about eating properly. So that you can digest better. All these are things you got to examine yourself. If you know, good. If you know, how you employ. If you are doing congratulations, you are doing the right thing. Then take on the mantle of educating other people, family members, friends, or associations, and all. Any number of meetings you go to, don't serve food unless you finish talking about the business on hand. So the time that you think you are saving by eating is not worth it. So you spend 5 minutes, just focus on the food and eat, and then start the meeting once everybody is done. That is a better way than eating and do that has become a norm. Everybody doing it. I don't do that. I don't advise any of my patients to do that. Take your time to chew your food and to savor. I'm repeating it again because most of the people don't do that. They are in a hurry, they swallow food very quickly. They don't allow the digest to start in the mouth. That's important, right? Some hormones are also secreted in the mouth, and that chyme that you send it to the stomach is better absorbed in a chyme form rather than full food. And also, what what is the time that you eat food is important. Especially in the evening, have a early dinner so that at least 2 hours are left for you before you go to sleep, so the digestion eats. People eat midnight, people eat very late and then they go to sleep. It's not a good idea. Always allow 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep to eat your meal. Probably 7 o'clock is the highest time that you can eat. And after that, don't eat anything, and maybe drink some water and all that, and then go to sleep. So hopefully, people are doing this uh, on a daily basis. See, one other thing is, are you paying attention to the pesticides and fungicides and so many chemicals that are put on the to grow the vegetables and to protect them from so-called other bugs and all that. And what is it, the loss for that? What is the consequence of the chemical pollution into our body? You pay attention to that too. There are harmful chemicals that they will put because they don't know that they are that harmful. But they are harmful to the insects. But then what happens to if they go into our body? You don't have to be paranoid about it, but generally be aware. Naturally grown, compost manure grown foods are better than these artificial chemicals and sprays and all that, right? So be knowledgeable about them, what kind of parts they are allowed and how they are doing it. That kind of thing is very, very good. Okay, let me. A friend is coming on the Noom vibe. Good. Hi, Cecilia.
How you doing, Dr. Earl?
I am great. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I was thinking about my food habits,
Yeah.
and one of the things I've noticed is the reason I really like processed foods
Mm.
is because it's a certain standard. Like
Mm.
it's always going to taste the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just recently moved
Mm.
to a different area, and I'm
Mm.
from a more rural area
Mm.
where the produce I can just ride down the street and buy fruit off the back of someone's truck.
Yeah.
And they have a very high standard
Mm.
of what it's supposed to taste like. Like it was picked yesterday at Max.
Mm.
And then I realize now that I go in the grocery store
Mm.
and I'm smelling fruit and it doesn't have the right smell, if
Mm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it smells like
Mm.
fruit that was taken off before it was ready
Yeah.
and then shipped. And I've really been struggling with it because I crave stuff from home,
Mm.
like fresh peaches,
Yeah.
where they're not even 6 hours off the
Mm.
branch. And I get in this mode where I have to really consciously think about what I'm eating
Yeah.
because if I don't, I'll just snack all day long.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then I realize that my stomach hurts because I've eaten processed food all day and I haven't had any fruit, any fiber,
Yeah.
but I've been snacking.
Yeah.
So one of my replacements has been oat bars, like just pure oats and
Mm.
peanut butter and
Yeah.
sometimes dark chocolate. But
Mm.
I've really been craving the peanut butter,
Yeah. There
and
are
that's really helped.
yeah, there are good nutritious snacks. It's all a question of choice. Yeah, you're aware of the fiber and dark chocolate and all that. That's good.
Yeah, that's really been my thing.
Mm.
And I've been trying to make sure I sit down and eat because I work at night
Yeah.
and I'm really prone to just picking up a snack.
Mm.
So I'll kind of traded them out for like applesauce cups and oatmeal bars and fruit if it's in season.
Yeah. A couple of
And
things you were saying appealed to me, or kind of came out to me was highest standard is taste that you said. That is the culprit. Once you put the taste as the highest standard, then you will lose a lot of good foods. Like lot of things may not taste that much, but they are pretty good for you. Sour thing and all that. Right? The other thing is, when you snack like that, you are going against your natural circadian rhythm. See?
yep.
you know that. But what I'm saying is, we have to be conscious about it and allow the cycle to flourish. That means you have appetite. That means you are allowing the circadian to tell you when to eat, and then allow that process of digestion, assimilation, excretion to happen, to come back to the cycle again when your appetite is come back, and then eat.
That is where I slip up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'll eat
Mm.
to stay awake sometimes, like if I'm on my way home.
Yeah.
And I try to use up all of my energy while I'm at work
Mm.
so that I sleep really heavy, but I snack before I go to bed. And then I wake up and I'm like, why do I have heartburn?
Yeah.
I laid down on food.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah, and this heartburn is a big deal now because they give the antacids and all those medication that are really have side effects too. So we kind of found out more of this GERD when you have this what we call PPIs, so the ones that are promoting all the acid, because they're supposed to be completely suppressant, but on the reverse, they produce more because of the suppression that they did, and then suddenly it comes up. So I have many people on this antacid, so-called of them. I usually tell them just change the eating pattern, see how that helps. And one thing is, after you eat your meal, stay upright for a while, at least half an hour, 45 minutes. Sit in the chair or on the floor so that your spine is erect. Don't lie down. Even in the sofa, lounge, or anything, people lie down. That is really causes this GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Lot of this GERD is because of people lie down after they eat, and also they eat close to going to sleep. That's why allowing 1 or 2 hours for the digestion to happen. She brought up two important points. One thing is about taste, how much preference we should be doing, and then snacks, and also really going against our circadian rhythm. We do it without really knowing about it. She's a very intelligent girl. I know she's aware too lots of times, but then aware of psychological conditioning, all that is important. But look at what is happening daily in our regular cycle. Um, to allow the circadian rhythm to be healthy again, that you have to allow the appetite to build up. Actually, that's a good thing to do. That's way you don't have to do a fasting fast, because you are hungry. You allow the hungry to grow a little bit more, or you are doing more exercise and the hunger is grown, and then you have a very ravenous appetite. Go and eat. But when you're eating, eat slowly. Don't gulp down everything. So that's kind of following our own internal cycle, being loyal to it, allowing it to flourish by itself, not suppressing with our mind or with our, psyche. That is the one we need to avoid in modern times. They used to be ancient time. They used to get up and eat and then get on the floor on the farm, and then really work a lot, and so they digested everything very easily, so they kind of built up the muscle and all that. They didn't have the obesity problem because they were doing it properly. Listening to the nature, listening to the um, calls of the nature within you. All those things are very important. Thanks for coming up, Cecilia. And then that is what we need to do: be more aware, and be aware of what is happening within us. Then it will be good. Okay. So we have a few more minutes for this hour on this wellness wisdom. So I call this oasis because I don't find many people are paying attention to the nitty gritty of our daily life, of our lifestyles, and bringing in our real wisdom from the ancients. They were much more, oriented to the natural processes, whereas we became more into the technology that is outside of us. You use the technology, I use them too, but don't be driven by the technology. That is what is happening with us, because we are losing as human beings what is natural to us, right? Everything about some quotation, something else, but not really staying here and now with our system. That is much better. Then you will know what's going on with the system better, and then you can have more chance of fixing that, right? I'm not saying something extraordinary, something very common, very simple things. If you can pay attention to the, see, basically I come from this angle: physician looking at a lot of chronic disease and finding the root causes of the chronic disease or lifestyles. Then change the lifestyles so that we don't need to only medications to keep us alive, um, in a not really vital manner, that you cannot participate in things. You just exist, but you don't have any uh, meaningful activities. You don't have any purposeful way to live. So that's not uh, a good life, because people stay in nursing home. They stay day after day just because of the medications, but they don't have any interaction with people. They don't have any contribution to the society. They don't have any ecstatic experience during the day. All those things are not there. For me, a human being can be like that for a long time. So my motto is that live well, that means in energy, in harmony, without disease. Live well, but long, and live well, long, but also joyfully, not miserably. Those are possible. That we have the knowledge for that. We have the means to do that. Only thing is, just because we have knowledge in our mind doesn't matter. How we are bringing out in implementation in the daily life. If you are to slip up, that's okay. Reflect. That's why maybe every 1 week, say, what did I eat? What did I should not be eating? What the mistakes I made? That kind of review, that kind of reflection gives you a strong hold of what's going on in your life, and then you can bring in the changes through the knowledge you have already. Everybody knows all these things very easily, but they don't do it because the culture is influencing them in a other way, right? Making them more unconscious, more unaware, and maybe promoting such a thing, saying they're good, like this luncheon meeting. Come and save your time and eat and go. It's actually not good for you. You know. So if you can reverse that, just I go to the meetings, I participate in them. Only thing is, I do only one thing at a time, either the meeting or eating, but don't combine. Okay, that is how it is going to be. Okay, so we will go to our morning routine now, where we are going to stretch our body, deep breathe into our stretches so that our body is energized. While energizing our body by stretching and breathing, we'll also focus our mind on the breathing so that we are here and now and cultivate a sense of presence. And then carry the presence through the day like a fragrance. Okay, our body is energized, our mind is focused, our mind is establishing the presence, and really open our heart to give to the life. Whatever you do, give it like a service, leave it as an offering. Maybe you are doing a job, do it a little bit better than yesterday. Or offer some part of it to somebody. Or maybe offer yourself to help other people. Be kind, be helpful, and all that is opening the heart. So your body is ready with energy, your mind is ready with focus, and your heart is open to serve people. Okay, so we have 7 principles. 4 we do, 3 we cultivate attitude. The 4 things we do are stretching our bodies, and deep breathing is the second one, and really keeping our mind here and now. That is the third one. And the fourth one is any thoughts come up during this time of doing exercise, observe them as objects, like a cloud in the sky. You are the sky. All these thoughts are happening within you. Just watch with that witness consciousness, right? And then we do the 3 attitudes of I'm not going to react that easily for everything, with emotionally. That will save you a bunch of energy and hormones and all that, right? And then you say, I'm going to be serving people. That is what I talked about, service attitude. And I'm going to be equanimous to whether I win or lose. If I lose, I learn from it. Next time I will win. That way it's going to win. If I win, I'm kind of temper my enthusiasm, celebration too much. So that my ego is not going to go anywhere. So these 7 principles are devised so that people go with a harmonious way, like an energized body, focused mind, open heart. And once you do this, you have less chance of having stress and also not reacting, and also giving attitude of service, and then really taking mind equanimously to wins and losses. What it does, no stress, right? So most of the stress is the reaction of ours. By our conditioning, by our training, we react certain way and we don't pay attention. And those reactions are going to harm to us. That's why My practice is stress-free if you really understand and do it all day. Okay. So I hope that is registered. If you have any questions on that, you can always come to my wellness club in the morning, or you can directly DM me, and I'll be happy to engage you. Or you can make an appointment if the problem is pretty deep. You can make an appointment on as a consultation, which is what happens from 9 o'clock to 4, 5 o'clock. People may come for the burnout coaching, or stress coaching, or just emotional upset, or problems with agreeing with grief that they have because somebody passed away, or lifestyle, all these 4 pillars of the lifestyle: the diet, the exercise, the sleep, and also calming the mind. These are the 4 pillars I concentrate on. And lots of times you will need medications for a while. That's fine. But then after that, you want to taper them off as you improve your lifestyles. We usually see that. Some may be completely off, some maybe half the medication that they are taking, or some may be just medication are taking, but then their lifestyles have improved and they feel much better. No, they may still have to take medication. That's okay. It depends upon the person's capacity, person's level of, you know, um, complications of the chronic disease. So many factors come in, right? But generally, come back to nature, come back to yourself. Enjoy life, make sure you have the vital energy, make sure you are doing all you can do to maintain that vital energy. Okay. So I kept this practice also very simple, so that people like me, I'm 70 now, people like me who are advanced in age, they can do, and they don't have a fall, they don't have an accident, right? So do things sitting down or standing up, whatever appeals to you, and really take it slow, do it at your own pace, listen to your body, all these things. Okay. So we are going to stretch and deep breathe now. We'll start with the deep breathing to awaken us. Then we will do the spinal twist back and forth and to the side. And then once the spinal stimulation happen, then we'll do series of asanas. And then we come back to the formal breathing, which are pretty tough on some people. So take it easy, do what you can do, and always have your doctor cleared you for these exercises. And then finally we kind of really, not in our body, not in our mind, but use them as our tools by really identifying who we really are, that the essence of our conscious being, witness consciousness. That is what you can feel, that, right? Who you are. You are not just your thoughts, you are not just your feelings, you are behind that, who is observing all this. Establish yourself. That's the last exercise we will do. So we will start with the 3 breathing exercises. For this, sit straight, where in the chair or on the floor, whichever appeals to you, and sit straight with your back straight, and then take deep breaths through the nose as though you're sucking air from the level of umbilicus all the way in. And as you take the breath in, abdominal wall raises. Hold it for a few seconds, and then as you breathe out, abdominal wall goes towards it as the diaphragm raises, right? So that is a complete breath. We will do 8 times, okay? Um, Keep your spine straight, make sure you are empty stomach, and then you are going to do with the awareness, what your breathing is not just the air, it is a life force. Without that coming in, so have that reverence to the life force that is coming into you. In prana, they call it prana. Prana in Sanskrit, they call it prana. Prana means life force. Okay. So let's do the pranayama, means we are going to extend that life force in us from going away. Okay. So vitality, everything comes with the life force. So let's start that. Okay. 7 count, you breathe in. 4 count, you want to hold it. And 8 count, you want to breathe out. You do 8 cycles like that. So let's do 7 more. As you actively tighten the abdominal muscles, they are also toned. That's why core muscles improve with this exercise. Okay, 4 done, 4 more to go. Okay, this exercise you want to do on empty stomach. So make a habit of doing this before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. Okay, that will be ideal, and it will be clubbed with a routine, and you will be able to do easily. You don't forget, you have to come back and all that. Okay, and now we go to the second one, which is raise your palms to the camera, elbows bent, and take the palms up by extending the elbows upward as you take the deep breath in, and then bring it down as you breathe out. And do it so many rapidly. I recommend this. Do 1 minute every hour while you are at work. You can do it on full stomach or not, okay? But just do that. That rapid breathing in and out refreshes you, okay? Do it 1 minute every hour, okay? And bring yourself to the presence, okay? And the third one, the deep diaphragmatic breathing. Clasp both your hands and put them under the chin. And as you take a deep breath, let the elbows go up, up, up to the side, and it goes back. Now open your mouth and see, whisper the word ah as you breathe out and bring the elbows down. Normal position. Okay, let's do 7 more. Two complete. 3, 4, 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Okay, those are the breathing says you want to start. This is only preliminary, just to get your system going. Okay, do this every day as much as you can, and then at least 8 times the minimum, right? And then you are ready to the some of the asanas. We'll do our routines first. Okay, first we do head to toe. Okay, sitting down, keeping both your feet flat on the ground. What you do is you lift the heels as you take a deep breath in. You are on the toes. Extend all the way up. And then as you breathe out, bring the heels down and the toes are up. Okay? Now breathe in and put the toes down and bring the heels up. As you breathe out, come down and raise the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more. 2 more. Last one. See, deliberate, focused on the heels and the toes. So you're doing both the toes and the ankles. Okay. And now we're going to come to the next joint, which is the knee joint. Both feet are on the floor. Lift the right foot up and extend the knee forward so that your foot comes up all the way up. Okay. Take a deep breath in as you do that and breathe out and bring the foot down and place it on the floor. Again, do the other way. The left foot. Once the right foot done, left foot done, that is 1. Okay, let's do 7 more. Take the deep breath in as you lift the foot up. Breathe out as you put the foot down. Do it on the left side. 2, 3, 4, 4 more to go. 3 more to go. Slow, deliberate breathing, keeping your mind here and now. Any thoughts come up, then you kind of watch them. See, you are training your mind, trying to be aware, trying to be in the moment as you practice this. As your attention goes away from your breath, bring it back like that. Okay. So that's why this becomes exercise of awareness through the hour. Okay. And it is an alignment of your body, breath, and the brain. Okay. So we have done up to 7. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. So now we are done with the toes and the ankle and the knee joints. We'll come to the hip joint. For this, clasp both your hands like this, cup them around the right knee, for example. And as you breathe out, bring the right knee to touch the abdomen. And breathing in, put it down and do it on the same on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. Last one. Okay, that is for the hip joint. Now we will do the side of the chest and the abdomen, keeping both your hands to the side on the chair and palms facing each other. Now lift up one arm, like a right arm, and then lift up all the way up, and then let the left hand go down as you bend towards the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower the right hand down, lift up the left hand up, and palms facing to the right side, and dip to the right side this time. Breathe out as you dip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and lower them down. So that is for the side of the abdomen and the chest. Now we're going to do the pectoral muscles, chest muscles. Keep both hands on the breastbone like this, elbows bent to the side, one hand on the top. Release the top hand, here right hand to the side. Extend the arm to the side and then twist your body to the right side. Turn the head over the right shoulder and breathe in. As you breathe out, bring the arm back slowly, deliberately to this side. Do the same on this side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be deliberate. Deep breath. Keep your mind on the breath. Okay. See, be here and now. Deep breath and do both sides of the body. Okay. That is for the chest muscles. So now we're going to go to the shoulders. Okay. What you do is you elevate the shoulders as you take the deep breath in, and as they come down, breathe out. See, simple shrugging. Slowly, deliberately, keeping your attention on the raising the shoulders, and breathe out and bring them down. 3, 4, 2 more to go. Okay, though that is for the shoulders. Now extend both your hands to the side, elbows straight, and bring the fingers by bending at the elbows to the shoulder. Okay, that is for the elbows we are doing. 1, 2, 3. As you are breathing, as you go out, and as they're coming, breathe out. See, that is for the elbow joint. Remember, we came all the way from the toes, ankles, knees, hips, side of the abdomen, chest muscles, shoulder, elbow, and now hands. Extend both hands to the front and put them down as you breathe out, and as you breathe up, bring them up. Now tuck the thumb in and put all your fingers on top of it. Make a fist like that. And then up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now rotate to one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now open the fist and make a fist. Open the fist, make a fist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now lower them down. So all the upper limbs are done, and we have come to the neck. So sit straight, look straight, and then move the neck forward and backward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and now we're going to take a deep breath and turn our head to the left. Take the deep breath in all the way. Once you reach there, feel the stretch on right side of the body, and now breathe out and come to the center. Slow, deliberate movements with your mind on the stretch, on the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be very deliberate, very slow, very deep breath. Okay, if you have those qualities, then you have a good stretch. Now bend the neck so that the right ear is close to the right shoulder, and reach with the right hand over the left ear and catch hold of the scalp there and pull your head gently towards the right. 3 breaths, and put the right hand down and bring the left hand this time above the right ear and pull the head to the left. See, there's a good stretch for the neck. Okay, clasp both your hands and keep them behind the head like that, and pull it forward so that the weight of the elbows pull it down. 3 breaths there, and bring it up and lower it down. So variety of ways you can do neck exercise. We'll do circumflexion here. Okay, what we do is we let our chin fall to the chest, and as you begin to breathe in, move the left ear to sweep over the left shoulder and go back. The head goes back, and now start breathing out and bring the head to the center again. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, as it goes up and back, you breathe in. As it comes forward, breathe out. 3 times like that. Now reverse the direction. Go towards the right now, to the back, and sweep over the left and come to the center. Deep breath as you are going back, and as you're coming forward, breathe out. 2 more. Do deliberately, slowly, safely. All your attention here. That is the presence you want to end up in and you want to take to the work as a perfume. So wherever you're working, your perfume of presence should be coming to you. Okay? That is for the neck. You can do a lot more if you're back and forth, to the side, to the, front and all that. Okay? And now we're going to come to the face. Bring the right hand to the right cheek and elbow to the right. Okay? And then press and release. Press and release. Press and release. Do the same on the left side. Press and release and press and release. Now take both hands on the temple. This is acupressure yoga on the face. 3 times. Press on the temples firmly and then release. Now clasp hands. Press on the forehead, top of the head, and the back of the head. And release. So that completes head to toe yoga. Okay, you can do it as a preparation for the real yoga, or just do it 3 times a day so that all your joints are limbered and in working condition. Okay, very simple thing. Actually, I kind of developed this slowly and for the use of my elderly patients. But anybody can start it and do it as vigorously as it's not like a speed. It is the slow attention, combined with deep breath. Okay, that's when you have the body, breath, and brain are aligned in awareness. Okay, now we do AEIOU. In this practice, you should be awake, alert, and aware of what's happening. Okay. And you should be energized. That is the E. And you should have an insight of how your body is, where the stiffness are, where it is bending properly, where it has energy, not all those things. It will make you dizzy or not. And also, how is your mind? Is it able to stay here and now, or is it vagabonding? It's going all over. So you have an insight into how, as to what your condition of the body and also your thing is. Okay, now after that you have to really focus on your energy responding to the sounds. That is the O, AEIO, and the last one is a U, where you will really realize who you really are. You are not just the body, you are not just a bunch of thoughts, the mind, but you are having these two as instrument, that witness consciousness, that being of you, the life energy that is there within all of us. Okay, so be that, affirm that. That's what we will do at the end of this. Okay, now we're going to do the possible breathing exercise that are pretty tough on the abdomen. Unless you are used to it, don't do them too much. Do to your capacity. Okay, don't compete. Don't compare yourself with me or anybody else. Okay, just do whatever is comfortable for you and then progress it. Okay, do it daily. That's important. Do to your capacity important, and advancing it a little bit is important. Okay, so for this we'll do Kapalabhati first. That is breathing air as the abdominal wall goes in simultaneously. All you do is breathing out. Breathing in happens automatically. I will do sitting upright, keeping my back straight, closing my mouth and breathe out through the nose as the abdominal wall goes in. That is the movement I do for 60 times. Okay, Okay, these are the Kapalabhati. You do it only if you have no abdominal problems. Any abdominal pathology, any surgeries, anything that you have, consult your doctor before you do this. Okay, and the next two also. The next one is called Agnisara, which is a metabolic stimulator. So what you do here is first take a deep breath in and breathe out and hold the breath there. While holding the breath there, you move the abdominal wall up and down while holding the breath for 20 times. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. If you can do 2 or 5, that's good enough. If you can do 10 or 30, it's up to your capacity. Okay, so first take a deep breath. Okay, that is Agnisara. Always come back to your normal by taking normal breaths after each exercise. That's a good practice. Keep you protected, keep you energized, and come back to it. Okay. Now we'll do the third on the abdomen, which is called three bandhas. Bandha means lock. So you breathe out and lock the lower abdomen by contracting it, and upper abdomen by contracting it, and bring the chin to the chest. Three bandhas. While you breathe out and contract and hold them and keep in that locked position for a few seconds. Okay? Don't breathe in, breathe out, or anything. Breathing in, come out of it. Okay, that is three bandhas. Do that slowly. Do to your capacity. Okay, and now we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. Anuloma viloma. Okay, Nadi Shodhana. Get the right hand ready for this. Use the thumb and the ring finger. First, close the right nostril with the thumb and take a deep breath through the left. That is open now. After deep breath, close the left and open the right and breathe out to the right. Now take a deep breath through the right, close it with the thumb, release the left and breathe out. Three more. Okay, that is Anulom Vilom, few times. Okay? And now we're going to go and do the other one, which is the bumblebee. For this, use your thumbs to close the ears. Keep the index and middle finger on the forehead and close your eyes and keep the ring fingers on the closed eyes. Let the little finger hang around the mouth. Close the mouth. Take deep breath through the nose. While you are breathing out through the nose, make the bumblebee noise. Okay, 5 times. You can do 5 to 15 minutes of this exercise. It's good for you, good for your throat and all. Now we're going to go to the ma. First, take a deep breath. While breathing out, open your mouth and say ah. That is one. Every time you breathe in and breathe out like that for 5 times. Then you do the oo 5 times. Then you do the ma 5 times. Okay, let's start with ah. That's for the abdomen. Let's do for the chest by doing oo. Ooh. 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 Now the last word ma for the throat. say. That is, these sounds, when they are reverberated in your system by chanting loudly, don't watch me, do it yourself. Then that sound that you are reverberating within your energy channels, cleanse them out. Okay. And now we're coming to the final, our Shambhavi Mudra, where we are said to be ourselves and really realize we are not just this body and mind. Okay. Dhyana Mudra. Okay. And then keep both hands like that. And then straight spine and tilt the head backward a little bit. Close your eyes. Keep the gaze in the middle of the forehead. And now you can breathe in and breathe out 10 times. When you breathe in, say, I am this conscious being. And when you breathe out, let go the feeling that you are the body or mind. You are not the body or mind, they are your instruments. For that they say, Di Ham Na. When you breathe in, we are said, Ko Ham So Ham. Who am I then? I am that. That is the essence of it. Let's do 10 breaths. Ko Ham So Ham. Deham Naham. I am this conscious being. I am not just the body or mind. They are my tools. Koham Soham. Deham Naham. Who am I? I am this conscious being. I am not this mind or body. I am this witness consciousness. Deham Naham. Koham Soham. Koham Soham. Deham Naham. I am this conscious being. I am not just the body-mind complex. I am the awareness within all of us. The conscious being. I am not just the body-mind complex. They are my tools. Koham Soham. Deham Naham. With that, we are done for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Namaste and bye-bye. Okay. Okay.
You too close to it, huh?
చేసిందండి.
No, it's still like.
క్లోజ్ చేసేయాలి. చేసేది ఇక్కడ ఇండస్ట్రీ మంచిది కదా, ఇక్కడ క్లోజ్ చేశాను.